So as I've been playing through Elsweyr, I've been overwhelmed by kitty cats and dragons and all sorts of crazy things. But one of the main points of this story is to deal with the Usurper Queen, who is kind of being controlled by the dragons and is sending all of her undead boys after us. So in this episode, I'm going to be dealing with Usurping, the evil Usurper Queen. But not only that, I have to fight a big scaly boy itself, or himself. I don't really know genealogy in this game. And legitimately, that really isn't even the biggest twist. That came right at the freaking end. Good gracious, this game. Anyway, here's what happened. We start today's episode at the capital city of Rimmen, as we are about to talk to old Uncle Abnu Tharn, the extraordinary battle mage who actually has been seen doing very little battle maging. Okay, maybe like once, but still, you know, you could put some more effort in. I arrive in the city and I'm immediately approached by a hooded figure with a quest that someone wants to talk to me, a benefactor. And that's going to be tabled for later. I'm on a Usurper Queen hunt. I get to see the main hub here in Rimmen, and it's actually popping, like absolutely popping with the amount of people that are here. Then we meet up with Tharn, and he basically explains that everything is really crappy here for the Khajiit people. He starts to tell us that there's a lot of terrible atrocities happening, but before the journey begins, I'm accosted by a guard. What do you mean I'm not an upstanding citizen? Oh right, I did, you know, that breaking and entering in that last episode. Still, I'm going to put this on Instagram Live and say that you were harassing me. Abubu takes us through the city and tells us all the different things that Usurping is doing. Basically ensnaring and controlling the Khajiit people, forcing them to do specific hard labor, which isn't necessarily slave labor, but it's really the only work that they can do. Financially treating them unfair. And then Abnuzu tells us that this crazy bitch has set up trebuchets and other siege weapons on the walls, aimed specifically to destroy everything in the city. If she can't have Rimmen, no one can. We enter the castle to meet up with Zumog Foom, who is the necromancer that we saw talking to the other necromancer at the bottom of that mine. That really doesn't make sense out of context. He talks to us about the betrayer, but his voice is actually like super dorky. Maybe that's me. Like Foom's voice just absolutely, it like breaks immersion. I'm like, you're a dork. Abnu and I walk into the throne room, and he tells me, please don't make a scene. As soon as I can, I sprint all the way up to the queen and I start dancing around her. Try me, hussy. Well, we do our best to parlay, but she's basically a psycho killer, and she summons a bunch of elementals, and then we're teleported on out of there. And we're in the sewers. Why is it always the sewers? She's going to kill some Desert Wind adepts and attack Riverhold. If you remember, that's where our boy Mizik is right now. All right, let's go, you bitch. We escort Tharn out of the sewers, and he says it's time to go look at the Adeptorium and see if we can protect them. So I Usain Bolt my entire being all the way to the Desert Wind Adeptorium, literally parkouring over this entire landscape. I run by some like defense force and I take a swing at them. Just let them know who's the hero here. I get to the entrance, but it's completely blocked, so I have to go into this delve, which I will admit, I'm actually really been enjoying the delves. I feel like almost like mini solo dungeons. I mean, the content isn't super duper hard, but overall it's fun. I meet up with this other mage player, and we're smacking the hell out of everyone. I don't know what kind of mage they are, but they have like all these summons, familiars, and it looks like a bodyguard. I don't know. Well, we slice through a million of these Usurping soldiers. Like I don't know how many people this queen has, but she can't have that many. I'm going through contingents of her soldiers. I also find a sky shard. Nice. I get to the entrance of the Adeptorium, and then I'm approached by Zamorak, who is going to help me get in there where the Grand Adept is. However, as I approach, I am greeted by Lieutenant Lapita, who is a spellcaster, and she actually really does do a crap load of damage. Like, legit, I was a little bit scared there. I got down pretty quickly with all of her lightning bolts and stuff, and then she electrified the floor. Luckily, I'm just able to out-tank her damage, but still, it was touch and go there for a minute. She goes down, and then her shade gets sucked away like a vacuum eating cat hair, and we enter into the Grand Adept's room, and the lieutenant starts crying for release. I mean, like, she has chains on her, but y'all really gotta stop selling your souls to orc dorks like Zumog Foom. Foom shows up, and he brings up the betrayer again, and that it needs to be restored, and they needed a secret from the Grand Adept, and they actually got it, which is a problem. We rush back to Riverhold to start preparing the defense of the town from Usurping. Tharn makes note that Codwell is actually, in fact, the betrayer, but like nobody had any idea he was because, well, he's pots and pans, man. Kinda doesn't make sense that he would really be their choice of weapon, but Tharn then explains that he is partially responsible for releasing dragons on the world, and he came to Elsweyr to try to fix the problem. and he gets on me for all the issues in this place. So I've actually finally reached level 10 by completing this quest, and I get a horse. Finally, I can run so much faster now thanks to my giant thick boy. Except he doesn't go as fast as I thought he was going to go. I mean, he's still a good boy, but he gotta lay off the Reese's, man. We go outside to talk to our friends that we have gathered along the way, but we need some time so that we could save the local farmers who need to be inside the castle walls before the necromancers show up and start deadening the place. Zamorak plays a game of cat and mouse with me, but then he says he'll go to Greenleaf Farm to help me save the family. As I mount up, I'm really trying to figure out how the speed works. Like, when I press shift, he isn't super fast, but it seems all about the same, I guess? I'm not sure. I also find out that I can simply press my attack swing button to dismount in the smoothest way possible. Not gonna lie, I thought that was pretty cool. Well, we get inside the farm and we talk to Sazi, who calls it right. I mean, I technically did just Van Dam your door, and you have a right to be upset. But we try to warn her that a massive army of Uraxian dead boy soldiers are outside, as if she doesn't have a window and identify that, oh hey, they're all out there, I didn't see them. Well, she wants to run, but she's missing her brother and her husband, so we ride off into the sunset, or whatever Ryan Reynolds does at the end of Wolverine and Deadpool, to find Kennaro, Tazazi's husband. But unfortunately, her brother threw a rock at one of the soldiers and was met with an arrow to the knee, or face. I really just want to point out that this is very much the F around and find out energy. Just saying. Just saying. Also, I try to walk back by these wild doggos, but they won't let me in. We try to talk to Sazi about leaving after her brother died. Chimera shows up and tasks me with destroying the Uraxian supply camps around so I can weaken the attack. This all seems a bit underwhelming for me to do. Just throw me at the army. Just point me at the army and go. Oh, the dead boys are here at the farm because they're digging for Caball's remains. Still have no idea about this. Well, we hit both camps and casually cause chaos and destruction everywhere we go, but it's actually comical how little they can do here. And it's just like I just show up and I am a god amongst these guys. I also run into more inventory issues, which is really going to be a problem, isn't it? We meet up with Guard Captain Nala, who says it's now time for us to help Potboy Codwell because he's doing some weird things like making bombs. Like suddenly he just remembers, oh, by the way, I'm a bomb expert. Seriously, I have to say, I absolutely love this dude. Like, he's my hero in this game. Well, he has a sudden vision about Foom and that they're on their way to Riverhold, so we need to go and defend it. Kamir says it's time to roll, so we check in with everyone and let's get it started. The battle kicks off with a big show from Foom, who's basically like, this is my place now, not yours, blah, 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 blah. He resurrects everyone as a zombie dead boy, and now we have to go on a killing spree to clear the square. Zamorak and I rush to turn on some shrines that will help stop the dead from rising, which I'm like, why didn't we do this first? Like, why didn't we do this in the first place? You know that's their big thing. Well, we clear out some more dead cats and zombies, and we rush back to the town center. And the deadies are staying dead, thankfully. Well, the ground starts to shake, and out of nowhere appears a couple of massive dragons, like 3 of them. We hear a speech from Chimera, who has given the rousing energy that we need to defend ourselves against Uraxia and the dragons. But what we didn't know is that she is actually the daughter of the king, the slain king of this land, of Rimmon. She is the rightful ruler of the throne, and she's the only one who could depose Uraxia. Well, none of that matters now because we have to take down a massive dragon, who, in a word, is absolutely wrecking my face. And nobody is helping me. They are all sitting on the sidelines watching. Well, I get slapped like 2 or 3 times and go down like 2 or 3 times. I keep using these crystals that just let me res wherever I'm at. I try to do my best to heal and use health potions, but I'm like running around like a scared little cat. Also, I get Phosphorodod, which kind of made me laugh, actually. Well, I ended up swinging on the dragon and getting the kill, but hot damn, this was a pain in the ass to take down. Also, inventory problems. Well, we talked to Chimera and Thorn about our next action, but this was crazy. So, following the main story of this zone has been a bit wild, but I've loved how the complexity hasn't been super crazy. Like, I can follow the story and understand the main scenario, but still slide off to go do some other side story shenanigans. It's pretty good. And I will admit, I've actually been pretty damn excited about playing through this game. Now, I love the fact that I got a horse because I saw the horses cost like 150,000 gold, and that is just terrifying as I have like 500. My boy is a bit slow, but he's my boy and I love him for it. The story is setting the stage for a more climactic battle against the Usurper Queen in the near future, but overall, I really have been enjoying my time here. You can catch my whole playlist here if you want to see my journey into ESO. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.